Hey everyone, welcome to my eating show. Today we're going to be cooking up a recipe together. I'm so happy you're here, yay! Click the link down below to follow my Patreon for mukbangs and drama not allowed on YouTube. Must be age 18 or older, link below. I'm back, Robbie Cheese. Home, shoo-be-doo at home, and I'm a bugger, we're back home. Hey, hey, shoo-be-doo, we're home. Hello, and this is hot and steamy, cause we're eating spicy ramen noodles. I'm so excited. I'm really excited. Here we go, here we go. So, let's start the cooking show. You guys, I have to be honest with you, I'm not in the best of moods because I just found out something today. This happened a couple days ago, but I just found out today because of Twitter. Well, listen, I'm just gonna be honest and candid with everybody. And don't worry, what I talk about will not take up the whole video. You guys know how I go on and on. Don't worry, it's just gonna be, I gotta mention it a little bit off my chest because I'm not very happy about it. And it's just kind of like, makes me so upset. So let's turn this on. Let's get the water boiling. Now, today we're doing something that gave me the worst heartburn of my entire life. So I decided to eat it and get it out of my house. Instead of throwing it away or donating it or throwing it in the trash, I decided to eat it and make content for you. Because it actually tastes good. I actually like it. Like, why do I want to give this away? It tastes so good. No. Yeah. This is the spaghetti, meat spaghetti pesto. I did this with Orlin a couple of weeks, maybe a month ago. Let me turn off my phone. I'm gonna get lots of emails. Patreon. You guys, yes, I started Patreon. I've been announcing it a lot lately. Sorry if it's annoying, but it's my only way of letting people let them know I'm there, okay? So, sorry. So how many packs am I gonna do? We're gonna eat this on my cooking tray, which can hold 5, I believe. So there's, okay, there's only 2 here. Yeah, we're definitely gonna have to open this up. Let's open it up. I think this is my last one. Yeah. So this got shipped all the way from South Korea. It's very tasty. I did it with Orlin and we had a bunch of different cheeses. You know what? I kind of feel like I want to do it again. Hey, Orlin. Maybe he'll bring it to me. So this, you would think I put on my, maybe this, I don't even know what channel I'm on. Hello, if you're on my main channel. Hello, if you're on my second channel. Hello, 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 if you're on my 3rd channel. And beep, to my 4th channel. Or maybe this is Noodle King, I don't know, my 5th channel. Do we still have those fancy cheeses? Can I put them in the freezer from Costco? Can you bring them to me, please?
They're frozen.
That's fine. Smells like Play-Doh. Okay. So excited. Oh, I don't remember being this. Oh, yes, it does. Okay. Okay, so when you open it up, you guys, I do recommend it. It's very tasty. It just, I happen to be allergic to like cooked tomatoes, cooked pizza, marinara sauce with like mozzarella sticks, lasagna, things like that get me so sick. And today I had pizza like 10 hours ago. And I'm like, you know what? I know I'm gonna feel sick, so I wanna get like 2 things that I love to eat. It's kind of like if you're allergic to peanut butter. You're not deathly allergic, but you're kind of like, I don't feel good from it. Like a gluten sensitivity. You're like, well, if today's my cheat day, I'm gonna go hard and eat all the gluten things that I want before I start clean tomorrow. So that's what I'm doing. Oh, thank you.
The other cheese is goat cheese, which you don't like. The sweet one.
I do like it. Wait, so these are the 2? Okay.
Yeah, there's a goat cheese in the freezer.
Like the stick?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll put a little in there too. Yeah, it was a lot of different cheeses that made this so spectacular. And I'm only gonna do a little bit, don't you worry. Okay, so we're gonna do 5 packs. So this is 1. So yeah, there's something on my mind that I'm very upset by. I'm gonna wait to talk about while we're having our first couple bites because I'll be in a better mood once I'm eating because I'll be happy. But I do want to talk about it, and you guys, well, we'll get to it. It's kind of serious. So in the meantime, how are you? How are you doing? How are you today? That is what I say. You guys, I'm having full body pains, or like I felt body muscle pains for like 5 days in a row now. Like I feel it everywhere.
Didn't do anything.
I think it's from the treadmill. You think by going like this on the treadmill, I'm like using these muscles?
I don't know, maybe.
Like I feel like my whole body feels like, I feel here. Well, that's actually when, well, we know how these happened, but.
Yeah.
Or then I had a little rough moment in bed. And I fell down on my head and my whole body went snap. Ugh. You guys, I broke my bed. I still haven't called corporate because it shouldn't have broken. And also they used the cheapest little ingredients. They used plywood instead of real wood, and it was like thousands of dollars type of bed frame. Ooh, this one's cracked in half. Well, we'll just put those in for now. Okay. So 1, 2, 3, we're gonna do 5. Is this all of it? Oh, that is, okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that means I have 1 left in the house. Should I do 6? That's pushing it. No, because I actually want to eat all my food for you. That's like a treat. I don't really get to eat all my food very often. So I want to save the best one, this one. Because I want to do a spicy noodle taste test. I did it a long time ago, where I do all of my favorite Korean Samyang brands and go boop, 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 and taste all of them back to back and see which one has the best flavor. But now I have new brands in the house and I really want to include them. So that'll be for that. But yes, hello. Happy October, what's today? Oops, it's basically boiling. Happy October 7th, I think it is. 6th, 7th. Every day is a blur. All I do is eat and film, edit, pee, poop, film, edit. Oh my gosh, I'm like a robot. I really don't stop. Good thing I didn't use this one to save for the little taste tester that I want to do in the future. This one is cracked. Okay, so this is 5 packs. Let's start adding everything into the water. So here's number 1. Oh, this is the oregano powder. Very good. Yeah, I'm having weird pain all over my body, and it's not like sickness or something. It's like muscles. It's my muscles, and it's been like this for like 3 days. But I instead of 30 minutes on the treadmill, I've been doing 60 minutes, which I think is a lot for an overweight body. I mean, even if I'm just walking, you just doubled your intensity. And also, my voice is echoing in this bowl. I don't know if you can hear. Hello. So sorry. Okay, so there's 1, 2, 3. Here's number 3. Come on, get out of here. Thank you. There we go. And 4. And 5. Ooh, oh. And 5. Now, oh, I don't have, I was gonna say I don't have chopsticks. Now we're gonna kind of like get this in there a little bit. Okay, just like this. Let's add in all the other packs. So we have number 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Look at me, I'm like a school teacher. Let's count, boys and girls. Now we're gonna add a whole stick of butter or half a stick. Let's do half a stick. Can I, oh, I don't have anything to cut this with. Well, remember what I did last time? I got very grossed out by people, so I'll try to just like use my chopsticks. Look at me, all polite today. All polite for you guys. I kind of want to do the whole stick. Why am I holding back? Why am I holding back from my butter? What is it, calories? No. Okay, so now we add these little things. These are the little meatballs. There's number 1. Look at me being all neat. I'm even putting, you guys, I'm clean today. I usually throw my wrappers everywhere. Today, I'm putting them in a little pouch. Do you guys ever get sick of me? Like, honestly, do you ever get sick of me? Or you guys find it comforting to spend time with me? Because sometimes there's someone who quit mukbangs. They quit mukbangs, and I'm really sad about it because I got so much comfort from watching her. Her name was Divine Munchies. And she deleted all her videos. And I got comfort watching someone cook and eat a lot of food. And it's not like she was telling crazy stories. I mean, sometimes I like a good crazy story, but not every day. You know, she was just, I don't know. And I feel like, you know, to me, I feel like I'm so annoying, like, oh my god, why are people here? But then I read your guys' reviews and comments, and people are like, I love Nikocado. And I feel like it's as if I left a message on the answering machine and I heard my own answering machine voice. You know, it's, ooh. Ooh, powdery, going up into the air, into my lungs. You know, everyone hates the sound of their own voice, really. But other people might like it. I hate the sound of my voice. It's so cringy. I sound so cringy. I don't like my voice. No, it annoys me. This is enough food. This better be enough food. I hope it is. Okay, let's start adding our cheeses. So I don't know what's what, but we have like, this is like an aged cheddar or something. Okay, there's this one. And they have this one over here. This is like a feta, goat cheese, licorice. One of them has like licorice type of thing. Oops, that's a lot of cheese. And then we also have a little mozzarella. Just a little bit. And we're also gonna do this one, which is sweet, very good. Don't stick to the bottom, that's the worst. Okay, this is a lot of cheese, whatever this one is, okay. Okay. Ooh, do I need more water? I might need more water, believe it or not. Believe it or not, let's add just a little bit more. Okay. And now, oops, there goes all my packets, which I so neatly put in there for you. And now we're gonna do this one, which is sweet. Okay. How do I get this out of here? I don't know. Do I have scissors over here? I do. I do have scissors. Here we go. Let's just kind of cut this in half. E. Get out of here. Get out of here. Ooh. How do I cut this in half? I feel like I want to put the whole thing in, but that's a lot of, well, you know what? We'll just do it. We'll just put all of it in because I don't know what to do at this point. I really don't. Okay. So now we have a lot of cheese. We have half a stick of butter. We have 4 types of cheeses, right? 1, 2, 3, 4. Yes. And now we're gonna start adding our spicy sauce, which is very spicy, by the way. This is not no walk in the park. Okay, okay. This is not a walk in the park. And number 1. Ooh. Number 2. Don't fling this on me. Don't get in my eyeball. I'm excited. It smells like pizza, Pringles, cheese, and butter. It just smells really nice. It's very spicy. I don't know if I'll use 3 packs or 4. Let's do 4 because I'm a rebel. You know, the spice is okay for me. Watch, I'm gonna be screaming in this video. No, it should be fine. With all this cheese and butter, it should be fine. Just like this. Just like that. And now we start stirring it around. Can you see? Hi. Hi. I'm still here. Oh, this cheese still has to melt down over here. These are big old clumps of cheese. They still gotta melt. Ooh, it smells very nice. Very nice. Ooh. Okay. You know what it feels like? It feels like, because I need to turn this phone off. All these, I mean, I'm very grateful. Oh, spam. Ew. Let me turn off the phone. I don't want to be, I get distracted. Sometimes I like to know, if, you know, surprise you. Oh, guess who messaged me? But usually it's just me saying, oh, Cameo, oh, Patreon. Which totally looks like me promoting, which I guess it is a good promotion, but, you know, I just want to spend time with you, so excuse me, I'm so sorry. Yeah, so that I feel like pain, like I just went like this. It feels like stiff. I feel like, I remember I had a really scary dream where I was like fighting in my dream and running. And like I was very skinny and healthy, okay? But I was like jumping through hoops and like just crawling on the ground. It was like an action film. And I feel like my body, my brain didn't shut me off completely. It didn't shut me off completely, so I was still kind of moving in my sleep. And I feel like I sprained a muscle just sleeping. A very intense dream. Either that or that thing me and Orlin did that made me fall down the bed. But I landed on my head, so I don't know what, who knows. Being overweight has its challenges, that's for sure. Okay. Okay. Very exciting. Very exciting. Wow. Okay, we're still waiting for this little piece of cheese to melt. It's almost done. I want completely melted and all incorporated into these noodles. I feel like this is gonna be very tasty. Pizza noodles. But they're technically called meat spaghetti. I like to call them pesto. That sounds nice, pesto. It definitely sounds yummier that way if you go pesto noodles, pesto. Okay. All right. Basically done, except for this little cheese over here, which I'm still waiting to melt. Stick it right there at the bottom. Let that heat get there. So exciting. All right, so I have one left. I feel like it might be too spicy if I do all of it, but 4 is good, 4 is good. And if it ain't spicy enough, I'll add more of the sauce, but that looks really spicy. That looks pretty spicy. Oh, yes. Yes, yes, yes. Dress to impress, press. Look at that. Oh, look at that. Wow. Oh my God. Amazing. And slightly more water, just a little bit more. Okay, everybody. This looks good. Okay. Very nice. Very nice. Okay. We are done. Should I try it to see if it needs more butter or cheese? Maybe I should. Let's turn this off and let's try a little bit. Let's try a little bit. Oh God, it's gonna be so spicy though. Ooh. Mmm. 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 Oh, it's spicy though. Oh, it's kicking in already. Oh, that's good and creamy. It tastes like cheesy, spicy Pringles chips on like soft, chewy noodles. I know that's maybe that's about. Mmm. I like. Okay, let's put this on my eating tray and let's begin. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. Bam! Yay! Oh my God. Oh my God. This is super cheesy. It's like pizza. It's like cheesy pizza. Oh my God. Look at this. Wow. Look at this. Wow. Oh my God. Let's just go straight into this. Mmm. Oh my God. Grab some food. Let's feast together. Delicious. Now this is ice cold water. Cheers. I'm so excited. Mmm. Very good and not that spicy. It's really not that spicy, everybody. Oh, but it looks incredible. It looks so good because it is good. Mmm. Mmm. Click the link down below to follow my Cameo, where I will make a special video just for you. We can also message each other too. Link below. Very good. Very good. Oh, it's cheesy. Mmm. Those flavors. Again, out of control. Out of control. Okay, let me tell you. So something I kind of want to rant to you about, which is on my mind. I'm going to read you a tweet from Twitter. Yes, I have lice. This comes from Chase Strangino, which is Pete Buttigieg's husband, who ran for president of the Democratic Party. He said, first day of the Scoutus term, and Alito and Thomas call for the overturning of Obergefell. I'll just read you. The petition implicates important questions about the scope of our decision in Obergefell. I don't know if that's how you said it. Obergefell. But it does not cleanly present them. For that reason, I concur in the denial of certiorari. Big words, oh my God. Blah, blah, blah. Nonetheless, this petition provides a stark reminder of the consequences of Obergefell. By choosing to privilege a novel constitutional right over religious liberty interests explicitly protected in the First Amendment, and by doing so undemocratically, the court has created a problem that it can only fix itself. Until then, Obergefell will continue to have consequences for the religious liberty. And people are saying, please explain in basic terms what this means. And people are saying, basically, this means that the Scoutus, the Supreme Court of the United States, Scoutus, the Supreme Court, there's 8 judges, will repeal federally recognized equal marriage, or try to, and return marriage recognition to individual states. So there'll be no more marriage equality couples living in those states whose marriages are no longer legally acknowledged. It hasn't happened yet, but the fact that they're even thinking about it really makes me mad. And I kind of want to vent about this. And I see people, thank God most people, even conservatives and Republicans, thank you for having brains, you know, with me and everyone else saying, what, why does this matter to people? Why does this matter to people? People saying, other people getting married in no way infringes on anyone's religious liberty. No one is forcing any religion to perform marriages that are contrary to their beliefs. On the contrary, prohibiting people from marrying the person of their choice infringes on their religious liberties. How ironic. It's just crazy. Someone saying, for civil purposes, religious institutions don't get to decide what is licit or illicit. A hospital can be run by a church, but they can't refuse to serve Muslims or atheists, or to recognize a legal civil marriage. For religious purposes, they are never forced to recognize any marriage. That's what someone said. Someone said, so, religious liberty. How does who I love affect your ability to practice your religion? Please, I'm waiting. Someone says, why are they trying to push their beliefs down onto me and my loved one by forcing us to conform to the boundaries of their specific beliefs? Separation of church and state. I think that's how this country was founded, the separation of this. It's like, I don't care what religious view you have, but don't force it to everyone else. It's crazy to me that we have so many problems in this country. So many problems with people being discriminated, unequal pay to women, our roads falling apart, children. We have all of these problems in this country with crime, with so much. And we want to spend our time worrying about what someone's doing in their own house. And yet you want to say this is a democratic, you know, free. It ain't free if that's what you want to do. Super thick, super cheesy, super tomatoey. Very good. So I'm just mad. I'm like, this is what we're spending time worried about. You know, people are saying like, you know, don't decide for me what I can do with my body. Don't decide with me how many guns I'm allowed to have in my house. Don't decide who I can marry, if they're black or white or straight or whatever. But they're like, oh yeah, but let's control this. After we already had this big movement to get people to see that people should be treated equally. It ain't that hard. Well, my religion says, well, that you're not the only one who has that religion, and that's your interpretation. There's plenty of Catholics, plenty of Christians, Lutherans, Methodists, different sectors of Christianity who think that it's fine, that it's hypocritical to say all of us deserve Jesus' love. But for you, a human, not God, a human, in your interpretation of something you heard in church or something that you read in a book, for you to decide that this person can't have the same rights as me, that ain't your, no. And that's my number one thing with religion. You guys know I'm not religious. You guys know that I grew up religiously. I have a religious family. But at the end of the day, I don't care if you're Muslim, Jewish, Hindu, atheist, etc., etc. If your religion is justification for hurting other people who are just being themselves, you are the threat, not them. You are. Period. I hate talking about politics on my channel. I never do. But to me, this shouldn't even be political. It shouldn't even be political. That you think that you get to decide. Well, who do you think you are? Are you God? No. You don't decide nothing. Because I can read that same text, because I took theology for 3 years at the Catholic University of America. And I was my theology teacher, I had 3 of them, but one of them, he was black, and he said, I could find so many things in this book that says, hey, you, Miss Woman, sitting there in the third row of this theology class, you're not allowed to have a voice. You can't speak. I can find a lot of text to back up that, hey, you are a different skin color. You are not allowed to do this, that, and the other. Hey, you, I read this. You like to look at PORN. You like to get off on weekends. Guess what? You aren't worthy because I saw in this text, this sentence, I'm going to interpret it this way, and guess what? Everybody is a sinner now. Everybody. So why are we picking and choosing? And what purpose does it serve? It serves no purpose. People getting married serves no purpose. If anything, it hurts me. My taxes will double. You know, everyone gets a tax benefit for being married. It's a business institution in this country. It's not just religious. It's a business relationship. Marriages. Taxes. If I look at what I have to pay for my taxes, and I have to look with Orland, and then I have to look at what I have to pay by myself, those taxes are doubled, basically. Or, well, depends how much you go up. Or, what if he's in the hospital? Well, only family members and recognized people are able to I can't visit him. What about having a right to their estate or their wills? Well, the list goes on and on and on. Oh my God. I saw this, I'm like, what is happening? It's all because of Judge Amy Coney Barrett, and she was kind of opinionated on this. I have no problem with people being religious. I don't. Most of my family is. But the moment you use your upbringing and your world, your reality, your box, your head that has boundaries, that has setbacks, that has blinders, that has biases, that has perspective based on your upbringing, and you use that religion, what you think God is, where you think you go after death, what you think you use that as a moral compass for how people should be treated. Other people, not other same religious people as you, let alone that, but other people who are just not even your same religion. And you use that to determine law. Law and religion should not mix, because therefore it's not law. It's not protecting everyone at an equal level. It's not setting boundaries. It's not setting anything for people without any biases. You know, I just don't understand. I don't understand how this affects anybody. If there was not religion, what reasoning would people even have for this? Tell me. Tell me. 90% of people who come to this conclusion that it has to be a man and a woman, it's because of religion. That's the only reason. That's the only reason. You would, if you took out all religion of the world, and it was just human beings of different skin colors, different ethnicities, different orientations, and you said, okay, let's create a land where these people are all equally protected. There would be no just idea saying, these people are not allowed to fall in love. The blacks and the whites segregate. No. Oh, we can't have... It all comes down to religion. Oh, you can't get married to this person because I read it somewhere. Oh, no, if there is no religion, what would make you think that? What would make someone think that? That I can't be with this person in my own house, in my own business, in the privacy of my home. It's just, it makes me so... Any kind of discrimination is bad, but let's I mean, every cause is different. Let's separate them. But right now we're talking about the GAY cause. Makes me so furious. And you can see people saying, well, if this did happen, and even if they tried to, and Miss Barrett says she gets on, which she will, but then she says, okay, I want to re-examine this and try to take it down. Well, you need more votes than 3 people. And say it did, hypothetically. It's not that it will be illegal nationwide. It'll be left up to the states. It'll basically take us where we started before it was federally recognized. And thank God it was like 60-70% of states already recognized it by that point. Before the federal court put a blanket over, okay, the whole United States, we will allow this to take place. We're not going to wait for it to be state by state, which makes no sense. It gets me so mad about the people over in California and Vegas smoking pot on the streets, and, you know, meanwhile their friends in God knows where, North Carolina, Alabama, are in jail for 5-10 years for the same thing. What is this, separate countries? It just, like, I understand that we have separate states, but things like that just, they get under my skin. It's like, oh my God, I could do something in this state, and I go to the next, and I could be thrown in jail for that. And be, you know, tortured and kicked and followed, and all these nasty things that take place in prisons. Nasty, 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 nasty stuff. Inhumane stuff. The United States prisons are really bad. Because I smoked a leaf, I turn on my Instagram, Tana Mojo's doing it on her Instagram all day, every day, in the streets, everywhere, promoting it, showing it all. I mean, it just feels wrong. It just feels wrong. And then people say, well, they shouldn't have, those states shouldn't have done that. It should be illegal everywhere. Well, that comes down to me, let people live. If it's not affecting you personally, and it's not a threat to society at large, your personal choices, well then don't smoke weed if you think it's bad. Then don't do it. Don't drink alcohol if you think it's bad. Don't do it. But to have these inconsistencies when you drive 10 miles up the road and you cross a invisible border and boom, it's just so crazy to me. Let people make choices for themselves. My God, I don't want to turn into... It's so ironic that some of these people who are saying, yeah, let's make these gays not get married, are the same one that's saying, let's not turn communist. Well. You don't want the government to get into your business and control what you say and what you do and what you think. But you're going to start making decisions and supporting causes that control what you say and think and do. How does that even make sense? How does it make sense? Let us decide for ourselves what type of weapons we have, how many we have, etc., etc. Let us make choices for ourselves if we adopt as, same gender orientations or not. Let us make decisions for ourselves if we can get married to people of different skin colors. Let us make decisions for ourselves if we go to church or if we don't practice religion or if we are Hindu. What if we're Hindu? Like a Christian Hindu, the original Hindus, it's crazy. There's a debate going on in India right now. Oh, well, they shouldn't get married. It's like, well, you're only saying that because of British coming in and taking over. Because of the British coming in and having opinions. Before that happened, there was no problem with a same-gender orientation relationships. Not one bit. You can see it in their sculptures, you can see it in their artwork, you can talk to the people who are very in tune with the traditional, whatever you call it, like scriptures and holy work and stuff. I mean, I watched Tulsi Gabbard talk about this. Like, oh my God, let people live. Let people live. If you are using your religion as a justification for why people aren't equal to you, then that's wrong. That's wrong. F the religion. I mean, hey, you have your religion, you choose to follow it, but don't nitpick things of it to be twisted in a way to hurt people. What good does that do for anybody? All these Christians, they all go, oh, man, about the Muslims. We don't like the Muslims. Don't have Muslims here. Oh, the Muslims. Oh, Islam's, blah, blah. Well, now you're doing what you say you don't like about Islam. You can't, don't pick and choose. Let people live, let people, well, they make women, they don't allow women to be free. Well, now you're saying, well, what if she's a woman in the United States and she happens to be attracted to another woman? They want to get married and live in their house and not be, have protection with the law. Well, you want to control that now? Like, you are just as bad in your view. If you're saying that's bad for other people to do it, why are you doing it too? All religions, I don't care what it is. All religions. Makes me upset. You can love, you can plan for the future, you can give to people, you can help, you can inspire, you can love your children and love your neighbor. And you can use religion as a tool or a pathway to become a person that does those things or believes in where you go after life. But that's the basis of it. Oh no, I guess it's not. I guess, well, I learned in theology at the Catholic University of America that it was used more so as, what they say, conformity? No. Keeping society in order. And it was misused a lot throughout history. If you study religious histories, how it was twisted with fear and programming and also ordering, pull out my notes from Catholic University, And I actually like that about my education at Catholic University. And they're not saying we're perfect, we're perfect, we're perfect. They're saying this is an interpretation that has many different branches, interpretations, and it needs to be for good at the end of the day. It shouldn't be used to hurt people or to control people. About control, that's what it is, control. The idea of connecting with your maker and your spirit and who you are should not be about telling people that they can and can't do this X, Y, and Z if it doesn't even concern you. Like, what a waste of time, money, millions of money into this, and energy. I just don't get it. It makes me so upset. I mean, thank God, funny choice of words, thank goodness that if it were to happen, and they do go down this avenue, which you probably won't, but say if you even did, it would just go back up to the states. And so far, the states, most of them have been like, okay, this is unconstitutional. For us to use religion as some kind of a reasoning behind allowing two human beings not to make a choice out of love. I mean, this is not serious or bad. It's a choice out of love. I don't understand. This is not hurting people. This is much different than the I can't even say the word on YouTube, can I? You know what I mean. The babies, you know, ending pregnancies. This is different. This is about people who are grown adults consenting to having love, being in love. That's it. That's it. I mean, this is not even. I mean, this is a whole different. This is something so simple as letting people love. That's it. That is it. And I can't think of any normal. Oh, well, they can't make a baby. Oh, so you're saying you can only have feelings for another human being is if you make a child with them? Oh, piss off with that logic. Well, it can't be natural if you can't make a child. Do you know how many people don't have kids and they love their partners just as much? I'm adopted, you idiot. You know, my parents didn't have kids. They adopted. You think that they don't love each other because they make a baby? Like, are you from the Stone Age? You're not. So don't think like you're in the Stone Age. Please. You're driving the little Flintstones car with the wheels made out of stones. There's no reason. There's just no I don't see the logic here. Click the link down below to follow my Patreon for mukbangs and drama not allowed on YouTube. Must be age 18 or older. Link below. And most people don't. I mean, especially of my generation, the older people, again, it's just kind of like ingrained in them and they had a heart. But even older people are they're understanding. It's kind of ridiculous if you really think about it. We're telling people they can't love. How is that loving? How is it to be, well, in the name of religious values, in the name of conserving religions and our freedoms, we can't let these people love each other. Like, that sounds so barbaric. So barbaric. Oh, well, they can love each other, but they can't get married because that ruins the name. It ruins. How does your marriage change? And no one can answer that. They can't. They can't. They can't answer. You ask someone, how does your marriage change by someone else being married? You don't even know who they are. They're a stranger in their own privacy of their home. How are you affected, miss? Well, my religion. Well, it ain't your religion, you selfish, entitled person. It's a religion for many people, and they interpret it. You are not God. You don't set the rules. You read something, you heard something, and you are making choices for your family. That's it. That same logic, well, you know what? Look what happened with, what was it called? All the Crusades. I mean, my husband comes from Colombia, and let me tell you, they were not Christian or Catholic. They were not. Now they are. But guess what happened? People came on boats from Europe, and they went to Colombia, and they killed them, and they hurt them, and they stoned them, and they burned them down, and they threatened them, and they said, if you don't think like us, we're killing you. So, in Colombia, they didn't have problems with same-gender relations. Colombia actually has same-gender marriage equality. They do, which is kind of funny. These third world countries now have it, and the United States is over here making press and conversation. They even spending your time having conversation about this, just wasting time and making us look like a foolish place. Foolish, foolish place. But this is even a conversation to be had. I don't understand how this is a conversation to be had. Do you? You might as well say women shouldn't vote and black people shouldn't share the water fountain with me. You might as well say those things too. These are stains on our country. Ignorant, horrible stains that we have, I thought, evolved from. You might as well throw in all these different things. Oh, well, you can't compare them. Why not? If it all comes down to letting someone not have a freedom and you are going to decide that you decide their freedom, who are you to say that? Do you think that go to study basic law. That is not what law is for. Law is for establishing protection, boundaries, and just the foundation of a functioning society for all walks of life. That's what it is. Excuse me, democratic law. Democratic law. Let's do okay. Democratic law. Democratic law. Democratic law. If we were talking about North Korea or something, then this would not even be in a conversation. You do what we say or you're dead. Look at my face. Someone says, I vote that we start a religion that exclusively only marries same-gender couples. Boom, LOL. 4,000 likes. I mean, wouldn't that be funny? Religious freedom? Well, here's my religion. That's gonna be my religion. Let's start a religion where that's... Well, I think they must have had some... Well, maybe not exclusive. Let's see here. The idea that same-gender marriage infringes upon others' religious liberty is ludicrous. Free religion implies not everyone will share the same belief. It's not that hard to understand. We must respect others' beliefs without their beliefs able to override our own and or control us. Someone says, I'm embarrassed to be an American these days. Someone says, well, according to them, the argument is that A, it deprives people of the right to settle the question of equal marriage democratically. B, that people who oppose it will risk being labeled as bigots and treated as such by government's employees in school. So you want to be able to tell people that they can't love who they want, but also have the freedom to walk away as not being seen as a bigot? Do you know what? You're so worried about a label. Boo-hoo. You're going to be seen as a label. It's like a racist person being upset that they're being called racist. Well, if you are one, you are one. Worry about the action and the implication of that word and how it hurts other people, more so than your own selfish, entitled brat of a person. Oh, well, I don't want to be called that. That's not right. So let's try to figure this out so I don't have to be called this anymore. Oh my God. People, don't worry about the words and the labels. Worry about the action. Worry about the content and the context. It's like when people, oh, well, this is really not a good parallel, but in a very small scale of the sense. It's like when people get mad at me for clickbait, they read the title, and they don't consider what I say in the video as the context or the content. Judge people by who they are and what they do, not something you read in a freaking, headline. Don't look at a title of a book and think you know the book. You're stupid if you do that. Let's see here. So people are trying to decide, Sotomayor and blah, 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 da, 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 who's going to do what. Serious question from a Brit. Consequence of the religious liberty. Well, how the heck is that affected? People are saying, exactly. My freedom to marry in any way, shape, or form, another person's freedom to worship. How is this possible? Someone said this is one of the weakest arguments in the dissents, and I'm a very conservative person. That's why this to me transcends. This transcends, because I know so many gay people. I know a lot of, I can't use the word on YouTube too much, people of my orientation who are Republican and conservative. Because they think this about taxes, this about social structure, this about certain laws, this about trading, this about currency, this about stock market, this about all these different things, Second Amendment. I mean, the list goes on. I know a lot of people in my gender, taxes is a big one. Like this, and that's, it's funny because, again, I don't talk about politics too much, but unfortunately, it's all coming mostly from one side. It really is. It really is. It's not like you're hearing this on the other side, too. It's always been that one side pushing it. And the side that tried to, liberate people like me from these discriminations was Democrats. Why can't it be a standard belief that you shouldn't impose your personal beliefs on everyone else's personal beliefs? If anything, law should always be religiously neutral. No one's belief needs to be exercised over another. Someone may disagree with it, that's fine in your own personal house and business, but you shouldn't therefore not allow them to live as they want. The 10th Amendment is quite clear that anything not explicitly written in the Constitution is left up to the states or the people. okay? The Supreme Court, well, that's why we have amendments. The Supreme Court would not be necessary if the standard right, the 14th is explicit, neither is liberty, happiness, da, da, da. I think it's just wrong, because this is what could happen. You could have 48 states that say, hey, people like me can mind our business in our house, get married, be a married person in our house. It won't affect how you eat, how you sleep, how you poop, how you pay your taxes, how you go to school. No, nada. Most, you know, let's pretend most states, but then you have those 2 or 3 or 4 little states whose people like me are stripped of freedoms and just basic rights. To me, that's just a right. That's just, we're talking about love. That's it. How is love not a right? Before you say, well, it's not a right. How is love not a right? That's the #1 thing. When people pass away on their deathbed, what do they say? They say, I love you. What is the purpose of life? What is the meaning of life? Love. And like, this is a basic right, to be able to love. Oh, well, okay, you can love, but it doesn't mean you can get married. But that's what marriage is. It's a recognition. It's a simple, basic recognition that in this country is a business. It's a business. Marriage is a business for taxes, for estates, for wills, for hospital visitations, for family planning, for so many things. I mean, so I don't think, I mean, you never know in this world. Maybe we could take 5 steps back. But I'm just like, and if you, who do you think you are that you get to tell people who they can fall in love with, and who they can have the same rights to sharing money with somebody? Like, you're not God. Like, this sounds so communist. And again, the people of this side who are, you know, again, I don't want to talk about politics, but it's always like communism, socialism, communism. Well, it's telling everyone that have to act the same and think the same. That's what communism is, especially communism. We're all equal. We all get the same amount of rights, same amount of land, same amount of food, same amount of property. If your neighbor makes more, you get some of it too. Equal, 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 equal. Sounds great, right? No. Because now the freedom is gone. You are being forced. Like, I feel bad for kids and adults in the states that never made this decision as a state before they got blanketed by the federal government. Because if this were to go backwards and falls back to the states to make the decision, I feel bad for those people trapped in those states who can't have the means or the funds to just relocate to a different state. And you know what would happen? People, since this is like the majority of people are on board with this worldwide with democratic countries, since world democratic countries, which are the leaders in trade and you know, I think those states, I feel bad for the people in them, because they will become even poorer. They will become so poor because businesses would not choose to develop there. They won't choose to do business. People will boycott. I mean, the power of the individual is so grand. It's so substantial. People will start boycotting certain states, boycotting travel. Travel industry will go to, some states will crumble. And there'll be very poor people in those states who might be of my orientation. They don't have the means to just move to a different state, or they don't want to because they'll leave their family. And they will just become such sad places where people are forced to think the same, to be governed by the same the belief that is not, that is a belief. It's by faith of a belief. It's not even I would feel so bad for kids, for families, for single parents, for people of my orientation who are stuck in these states where they don't, you know, well, if they can't even get a job, something, because the job finds out and they, well, we don't want to hire you. Like, these poor people. And I think people will, you know what happened with the Bali, what was he called over there? Is he the prime minister? No, the sultan. The Sultan of Borneo or the Sultan of Bali, one of the two. Well, he wanted to put in effect throwing people of my orientation. Was it off buildings? No, that's Saudi Arabia. Like stoning them or something, like stoning them to death as a punishment, like killing them as punishment for not even just wanting to marry, for just being born that way. And immediately companies started threatening to pull out. People boycotted the hotels that Sultan owns in California, the Beverly Hills Hotel and stuff. People stopped going there. People, at the end of the day, people are gonna move when their pocket speaks. And the Sultan changed his mind because people would stop traveling to that country. Celebrities would, I think Brad Pitt made a huge announcement saying, hey, if you support me and my work and my acting, don't ever go to Indonesia, don't go here, and don't go to these following places that the Sultan owns because he's killing people or wanting to for the way they're born. Yeah, that's not something we should support. We have the power to support with our dollar. That's the choice. And, you know, he felt that real quick because 2 months later he changed his mind. Sad that that's his true belief in his heart. I'll never understand that. I'll never understand that. It's a twisted interpretation. Because if you have to when you're laying on your deathbed and you're about to pass away, everyone says something of peace. Well, usually not. Well, most people they say like, I love you. I think of love. I want to feel love. I want to feel good. That is the purpose of living. And how do we become disconnected from that innate feeling of spirituality where we're going to look at a text, a religious text of any religious text and say, okay, we're now going to let us to determine who can have those feelings of love and peace and tranquility and light and truth and equality and beauty, like just pure love. You know, pure unconditional love that we feel in our hearts when we're about to pass. That's an indication. That is the meaning of, that is the purpose of living. That is the most pure thing you have before you even leave this earth. When people are on their deathbed holding the hand of their loved one. And how do we become to a point where we're going to take text that is the complete opposite of those feelings for other people? Like I said, going back to the Crusades, Colombia, the country I used to live in with Orlin, they had many gods, they had many beliefs. They believed in the mountains and the water and the trees and the herbs and the plants. They had many different gods. They had the moon and stars. And people on boats with weapons came from Europe and pointed them at them. And that, you know, the Crusades, they said, you will think like us because our God says we have to do this, which you have to wonder, is that really what you should be doing? No. You know, it's just so sad. This is interesting. Somebody said, pretty sure that limiting people's rights because it allegedly offends the stated religious beliefs of some people is the only novel constitutional right here. And someone said, so if I declare something, anything, a part of my religious practice, is it protected? And then that person responded, well, this has always been a major flaw in the arguments that the state can't allow behavior that offends some people's religious beliefs. But those slugs know they can't just say, well, we have the votes to undo a ruling we didn't like. People are bringing up Kim Davis. I mean, someone says, I just think this is all talk. They can say this on paper all they want, but it would be extremely hard to do. They would have to undo adoptions, undo taxes, undo inheritances, undo properties, undo retirements, undo children, etc., etc. The list goes on. The details of overturning it would get super messy. Not saying they wouldn't try, but I'm sure it's not as easy as they think. And then someone says, well, look what happened in Germany after 1933. All this was done to the Jews and held by the courts. It was totally lawful. Adoptions, yeah, adoptions. Forgot about that, and I'm adopted. And that just makes me so mad that these people, now I'm sure they're nice and decent in other areas, you know, I don't want to say they're bad people, but this is definitely a bad thought. This is a flaw what they're thinking. And that's the scary part, that these people, that these justices are openly saying this type of crap, and they're the ones deciding our laws in this country. That's the effed up part. They're just showing us, na 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 boo boo, I sit here for life. Those justices sit there till they die. And they're literally saying, na 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 boo boo, I got here, and this is what I really think about people. And you are this, and now you're gonna, if this is how you really think, how should I let you decide other laws? If you're gonna be this screwy in one area, how do I know for certain that you're not gonna be screwy in other areas when you're trying to make decisions in law? If you can't even keep your own personal beliefs out of the law when the decision making, you can't even help it. They can't even help themselves. They're like shaking. Like, no, the gay people, no. That's the scariest part. These people are in charge. Ooh. The effed up part is that these justices have publicly stated that they cannot be impartial regarding Obergefell. They should automatically be recused from all such cases brought before Scoutus. Ideally, they should resign for putting their personal opinions above the Constitution. Like, how can they even say this? That's what I'm saying. It's just it's like you. This is such a slippery slope. First, they'll tell you who you can love. Then you'll be able to deny the people based on their race, religion, political beliefs. Based on your so-called religion. LOL, what kind of religion is this? That has 3,000 likes. And then someone named Nancy, not my lawyer, she responded, don't forget about gender. The whole point of religion is keeping control in the hands of straight men. Precisely. Especially the Arabic religions, Christianity, Judaism, Islam. Someone says, no, it's entirely about evangelical Christianity. They hate Judaism and Islam. They want to infringe on the rights of Jewish and Muslim people. What they are evangelical extremists. I don't care what religion you are. Sometimes I say, well, then why are you, what's the point of it? I'm not gonna have this discussion. You know, oh my gosh, it's like, this is what people are fanatical about. This is what you're spending your time on earth instead of researching and creating, making art, making music, developing technologies, helping create beautiful, pristine parks, planting trees, making gardens, building beautiful skyscrapers, helping, you know, doing something of substance in life. You are gonna, for religion, sit here and decide who people can love. Like, what is the point? Like, what was the point of religion to you then? What is the point? Oh my God, it's just so, and there's a lot of people that think religion holds back humans as a species in many different ways. Because if you think about it, I mean, look what happened to Jesus. People did that to him because of brainwashing. They killed a man. They killed a man. They're so brainwashed. Oh. It's just, I don't even understand why this is even in people's Like, why are people paying to think about this, spending all this time deliberating on this and trying to see what we can do to change it, and you know, it's like, you are crazy. You are crazy. And you know what? I never talk about politics. I don't talk about what I think about guns. I don't think what I talk about abortions. I don't think about what I talk about immigration, the wall, no wall, having, you know, high technology wall, having no wall at all. I don't talk anything about, I mean, those are like the major political things. I don't really talk about trade. I don't talk about anything political ever with taxes, with healthcare. I don't, and actually I think a lot of people don't know what I really think about a lot of these things, because I make sure it's very clear that you don't know. I sit here and tell my stories. I talk about life. I talk about other YouTubers. I gossip. I eat food. I overeat. I sometimes don't eat when I go on tangents, like right now, you know. But one thing that I will talk about is this. And I'll say, you know, it's like, oh my gosh, like, if you disagree, if you're all hissy pissy right now, huffy puffy, because I'm saying this, I'm thinking like, well, why are you watching me? That is a big part of who I am. That's like half of it. You know, being with Orlin, being married to Orlin, being able to have property, being able to have inheritances, being able to, you know, pay taxes in a certain way, being able to see him at the hospital if he gets sick, being able to have the right to do things with him, being able to adopt children, like, this is 50% of my life. So if you're over here thinking like, Nick, you shouldn't be talking about this, or, oh, you just offended me. Oh my God, well then I don't even know why you're watching me to begin with. And I don't want to say not to watch me, because A, I need the views, thank you. But also B, in a positive way, I'm trying to think, maybe you'll change. Because here's the thing. A lot of people, even Joe Biden himself, a lot of people, we had to give them the time to evolve on this subject. We had to. You know, I'm not gonna, you know, say, well, you can never watch me, you can't support me, because maybe you'll evolve. There's so many people who watch me who eventually change their opinion on X, Y, and Z because they had time to warm up. People have to learn. Some people have to unlearn what they've learned. So I'm not going to sit here and be like, you can't watch me or get off my channel if you think, you know, people of my orientation don't deserve to live or marry, da-da-da. Piss off. You know, like, I don't want to do that either, because you might be one of those people that change because of me. Like, think of all the people who changed after watching someone on Glee, or watching someone on Broadway, or having their favorite actress or actor come out, or their best friend at school, and they're like, oh my God, let me think about it now. They might change so I don't want, you know, even though I'm mad if you're watching this channel saying, disagreeing with me, you're basically saying I can't have the right I can't have rights as you. That's basically what you're saying. At the end of the day, you might change. And I think as people, we have to give everyone that opportunity to change. Because just because it's not popular doesn't mean it's right, and just because it's popular doesn't mean it's not right. Did that make sense? Yeah. You know what I mean? You have to give people the opportunity to change and to grow. And not like my channel really inspires for that. Based on my relationship with Orlin and the things we decide to film. But at the end of the day, you never know. It's a little frightening to me. It's a little frightening to me. You know, my ex-fiance, we were actually going to move to Iceland or Canada. Did I ever tell you that story? Maybe that should be a story for a different day. Because at the time, we couldn't get married. It was up to a state-by-state thing. And we couldn't get married. And he was like, I don't want to live or give my money in taxes to a country that doesn't recognize me as a person. I don't want to work my butt off and contribute to a society of people whose leaders say, I am not seen as a person. And I was very convinced with this. You guys, I almost left, well, I mean, I went to Colombia too. So as you can see, I'm not really that tied to the US for a lot of different reasons. But I mean, but this was before Orlin. And I thought to myself, I was in school, I was at Catholic University. And I was taking theology and learning about all these things that the things they used to say about black people, and the things, you know, what was pertain, you know, about women being able to vote, and how they used people used religion as a reason as to women shouldn't be allowed to vote. Like all these twisted interpretations of scripture to suppress people who were different from them, different genders, different colors, different orientations, whatever. People who were different, they use this as, well, God said it, so it's not, don't come from me, don't blame me, that's what God said, so you can't live this way, you can't have rights to this. You know, and that's why I learned in theology, and I remember around that time learning how this has been evident in history through the Crusades and all the things and all the messy things Europe went through. And my fiance at the time, he was like, you know, why are we in this country? Let's go to Iceland. Let's go to Canada. Let's apply for, you know, residency, And I was like, yeah, makes sense to me. This is who I am. This is who I am. This is a big part to who I am. It does feel very sad that I'm here and I'm not recognized. Like, on one hand, yeah, I can still go to work, I can still make money, I can still have the freedom to do a lot of different things. It's not as bad as maybe Ukraine, where I came from originally. But it ain't the best, that's for sure. How's this the best country? This doesn't sound like the best. This really hurts me, you know, this really hurts me. So we considered Iceland, we thought about Canada. And then it's funny because a year or two later, after we had broken up, that's when all the rallies started coming up for gender equality. And I was in DC, and I went to a march, and I stood there at the, was it the Capitol? No. Was it the Capitol? I guess it was the Capitol. Or was it some monument? It was the Capitol, because it was that, the gray-haired lesbian. What was her name? I don't remember her name. Windsor, white-haired lady. She was with she was legally, well, was she a domestic partnership or whatever? She was with another lady, and they were living together. They were in a romantic relationship for like 40 years. She was an old, elderly lady. And then her partner got sick and died, and she left the money to her, but, you know, in her will, but she wasn't allowed to have it because she was not a man. And she was like, how is this my country? And she took it up to the Supreme Court, and that's how this whole thing happened. But I don't know, Crannonball, what's the thing people were talking about on Twitter? Obergefell, I don't know what that is. Who's the lady? Lesbian, Supreme Court ruling. It's like Eleanor, what was her name? What was that lady's name? She had white hair. She was a white lady with white hair. She was the one that really changed it, right? What was her name? It was like 2012. 2012. Let's look into this. Windsor. Was it Windsor? United States versus Windsor. On June 26th, 2003. There she is, yeah. I was on the steps of that Capitol with my little pride flag. The Defense of Marriage Act as being unconstitutional. Edie! Yes! You know, there's a lot of things that this country has been really bad on. You know, there was once a time where black people couldn't marry white people. That was wrong. There was once a time where women couldn't, you know, marry Asian people. That was wrong. Remember the Japanese camps? They threw these poor innocent people into camps, prisons, just because of the way they looked or where they came from. Like, this slavery, this country has a lot of evil, and this is just part of the list, you know. And it's just like, why are, you know, I'm so bothered, as you can imagine. And I just feel like you don't have to be, hopefully you don't have to be of my orientation to put yourself in my shoes and feel like, to even read something like this on my Twitter, to even read something like this and think, this is my country. This is my country that boasts and prides itself as being the leader of the world. And this is our conversation right now? While we have people who are, you know, while our legal system is so corrupt, while we have people rotting in jail for smoking a leaf, while their friends in California are prancing around, while people are driving on these rickety bridges that are falling apart, while kids can't even get basic pencils in school because all the funding is taken away from them, while all these people, like, there's so many problems in this country, and this is what we're wanting to think about, or even waste our time deliberating. Oh, we have to re-examine because it imposes on the religious freedoms of people. Like, what the? Like, talk about blend up something, a word salad that sounds all fancy, to mean I want to be a bigot. That's all it means. Really, that's all it really means. All these fancy words, like this, like, how do people sleep at night? And that's the thing. That's the thing. And that's the sad part. I don't think people are thinking to themselves, how can I hurt someone? I think the effed up part is people thinking, I need to obey God's wishes. And that's the sad part. That's the sad part. It's not that these people are trying to really hurt someone. They're just concerned about, oh, you know, honoring God by not letting a man lie with a man. And they think they're doing a good thing. They're doing it out of love. It's like the vegan parents who don't breastfeed. Well, not all of them, but some of the vegan parents who killed their child not breastfeeding it because they thought it was a good thing. They did it out of love because they didn't want to hurt the child by giving it an animal product. Or even the regular vegan parents that don't feed their children, you know, supplements or calcium or eggs or butter or anything to help grow its brain. And they do it out of love. And these kids are malnourished and skinny, and they're both, they look frail, they look very unproportioned. That's the sad part. Because I don't think a lot of these people do it out of trying to be mean to her. They don't even see what they're doing. And that's what religion does sometimes. It brainwashes you, in a way. Because if it wasn't for that religious text, or any other type of sermon you ever heard, you would have no really logical reason to say that this isn't allowed. You wouldn't, because it has no logic. It has no logic. Just like saying women can't vote, or black people can't, you know, drink out of the same water. They can't even go to the same school as you. My parents were kids when they went to a separate school from the black people, or when they were in the same schools, they couldn't share the same. They had the black person bathroom and the white person bathroom. Like, I mean, these types of things. It's like, where do you even get these types of? Where do people get these types of reasonings? And it all comes down to religion. A lot of it. Most of it. Most of it. There's no reason why women in Saudi Arabia were just allowed to drive on their own 2 years ago. Where's the logic at that? Was there some kind of scientific study that shows that they have impairment when they're looking out the road? I mean, when it comes down to logic and, you know, evidence, it all came down to faith and belief. Well, God says man comes first, so we're going to do what God wants. That's the thing. It's like this false, I don't say false, but this corrupted attempt to be more like God or to connect more with God. And it's just so twisted. It's like the complete opposite of what life is about, that you feel innately when you're about to pass away, about love and people being safe and at harmony and peace and light and truth. All those things that a lot of people deep down all feel. Deep down, that's what everyone feels. So upsetting. Well, I'm pretty sure Florida allowed marriage equality before it became a federal thing. Statute banning same-gender marriages in Florida. Is this correct? Well, it looks like I'm moving to either Washington, Oregon, Nevada, California, what's that? New Mexico, Colorado, Wisconsin, Illinois, Virginia, Maryland, Delaware, New York, Massachusetts, Maine, New Hampshire, Vermont, Rhode Island, New Jersey, Hawaii. One of those states I'll be moving to. If it happens. So yeah, it's not legalized by state here in Florida. Isn't that kind of scary? I'm like really disturbed. Imagine what that feels like. It feels really sad. It feels like, oh my God, what did I do to somebody to deserve this? Like, what did I do? Because I'm born? Because I mean, yeah, we're hitting each other on YouTube, but let's pretend we're not. Because I love someone. It's the grossest, humiliating feeling. And I can't imagine what that lady, Edie Windsor, felt when her partner passed away, and she couldn't even like, and she had lived with her for like 40 years. Oh my God. How is this allowed? And you know what, the sad, I mean, look at the state of our politics now. I don't talk about politics on YouTube, but you don't need me to tell you to look at it to know that it is corrupt to the core. It is so corrupt. I just don't understand the purpose. I don't understand the point of this. And there really is none. It comes down to religion. So, it's so sad because I remember my pastor at one of the churches I went to growing up, and he made a sermon about like how God wouldn't care. I'm like, well, this is a pastor who went through all the schooling, the religious blessings, and you know this, and he you know what, all the things they have to go through to be a pastor, the creed, and the, you know, this, the Pope has to bless him, he has to go to school and pass a test and do this and do her liturgy. I mean, it's just like so much stuff they have to do to be a pastor. And this religious person's telling people in the church, this was a Methodist church, oh yeah, it's okay. You know, Jesus, God wouldn't want people to feel this way. That's not the point of the Bible. It's not the point to make people feel like, and it's like, well, you say this to me, but then I go to the different church down the street and they say the opposite, and you're both reading the same freaking book. I mean, this makes no sense to me, because it's all about interpretation. I mean, there's some vegans who are Christian. I used to be a member of a group called Christian Vegans Around the World. This was back 2011, 2010, 2012. Christian Vegans Around the World. And they read the first part in Genesis, and they argued that chapter effing 1 of the Bible that says your food comes from seeds. Let thy seed be thy food. The trees and the fruits and the vegetables, that is what you should eat. And then it says, the animals I give you to protect and care for. And the vegans who were Christians said, this is evidence to us. This is our interpretation of this dang textbook that says, look, we shouldn't be eating animals. They say it on chapter 1. On chapter 1, God says, protect the animals, or something like this. I don't know if those are the correct language, the exact phrasing. But there were thousands of people in this group who believed that being vegan was a better way of being a true Christian. They used to say that you're being a true Christian because you're actually eating what God wanted. They wanted you to protect these innocent animals, you know, offer shelter and care for them, and, you know, fuel your body from, you know, seeds and fruits. You know, every seed becomes a fruit, basically. That's the thing. Adam and Eve, they were fruitarians. They only ate fruit. Like, this whole thing. And it's just like, it's all interpretation. That's the point I'm trying to make. You're probably shaking your head saying, that's not, you know. It's all interpretation. That's the point I'm trying to make to you. Let's not let interpretation about a book or a scripture get in the way of establishing law for allowing people to live freely in a democratic society. We can debate about the book and the scripture and everything all we want. I went to school for it. I went to Catholic grade school, I went to Catholic high school, and I went to Catholic university. Trust me, I've done a lot of reading of this stuff. That's fine. You can do it if you want. If you feel that you need to do it for whatever reasons, you do it. But don't mix that with law. You know, I see conservative Christians all the time. Sharia law is horrible. Sharia law, that's Islamic law that, you know, imposes death onto people for, like, stealing a French fry or throwing gays off buildings. Like, the intense laws, you know, that we've seen innocent people being really hurt in those. And I see all the time, Christian, don't let it come to America. This is America. We don't want. It's like, well, you're going to do the same thing with your own religion. Like, stop. Don't become what you fear. Don't become what you dislike. Like, you dislike it so much. Okay, fine. Well, don't do the same thing. Don't become what you dislike. Isn't that a saying? Isn't that a quote? People hate their enemy so much that they become their enemy. Isn't that a quote or like a saying? You know, I remember when I was traveling to Malaysia. And, you know, it's a Muslim country, and my parents were very worried. They're like, are you going to be safe? Are you sure it's going to be okay? I'm like, well, I hope so. You know, as long as I keep to myself and I'm polite, you know, and I don't hold hands with Orlin in public or something. It's a reality, you know. I hope people don't think I'm offending people, but you have to understand where I'm coming from. Like, it's a reality. I have to question these things. I have to be wary. I'm not just gonna hop on a plane and set foot anywhere because I just want to do it. I mean, you know, I had to be careful, and it's kind of like a sad reality that people forget. Y'all watch me every day. You watch all my videos, and you're used to this whole like Nikocado, Avocado, eating and crying and farting and arguing with Orlin and this whole little production I'm doing, and you forget that, you know, I'm a person, but I'm also an outcast. Almost everywhere in the world, everywhere. You know, there's people like me who are beaten to death in Russia, beaten until they die, over and over and over until they stop breathing, just because they waved their hand like this, or they were flamboyant in public, or, you know, and wow, like, it's such a humbling and sobering thought. You know, I am, you know, very, very different, and you're all very used to it by watching me all the time, so it's something that I think about, you know. It's very sad to me that this happens to people just like me. They could be my brothers, you know. I'm adopted. What if my brother, you know, was killed for something like this? You don't know. Anyways, I barely ate, but I wanted to talk about this, so I knew it would be serious. But let's hope that this doesn't happen. And I feel disgusting knowing that these people are the judges of my country, and they will be here till the day they die. I don't care if you're conservative and you want to debate about policies. That's fine. There's a lot to be said back and forth with a lot of these different things. There is. But the moment you're using your interpretation of a religion as justification for why some are treated well and others aren't, is the moment that you're done. In my book, you're dumb. No. How can you be a judge? People who use religion as a justification to hurt other people is wrong. And I don't care what you think or believe. At the end of the day, when you pass away and you're looking up at the stars before you turn to dust, I guarantee that these little things about women having rights to drive cars in Saudi Arabia, or, you know, gay people getting married and adopting a kid, I guarantee these are not your thoughts before you pass. It's about love, true peace, stillness, beauty, truth, equality, happiness. You want to feel that beautiful peace that's in your heart deep down inside. Right there. Huh. A big thank you to my patrons for supporting this video and my executive producers, Zen, Dr. Captain, Lala Baby, and Alizee. For more mukbangs and other content not allowed on YouTube, join my community over on Patreon. Must be age 18 or older. And for something more personal, get a video from me directly on Cameo, where we can also DM each other and chat one-on-one. So whether you're looking for more content or the ability just to talk to me, Patreon and Cameo are linked down below. Thank you so much. Bye.